Say hi, YouTube chat, to the future YouTube chat video. Your boy NairoMK is here to talk about the newly released tier list that just came out. I believe it was yesterday or 2 days ago. Today we're gonna discuss the tier list. Do I agree with some spots? Are some characters overrated? Are they garbage? Is some bad characters all the way down? Is Sephiroth where he needs to be? I will discuss it all right now with my chat live. That's what we're here to do. So I hope you enjoy the dissecting of this bootleg ass tier list. I'm just playing. Of this new Luminosity tier list. I believe it's made by the players who are like in the top 100 or 150 of the rankings and stuff like that. It's a lot of their takes combined into one average. All right, let's play a mini game. It's called Find Sephiroth in this. He's bad. So we got S+ tier. We got Steve, Sonic, Snack. 3 characters in S+. All start with an S. All five letters. All broken. I would say that is not a coinky dink, if I shall say so myself. Snake is not bad. Like, that's the first thing I'm gonna say right now. Snake is not bad. He good. Snake is one of them characters that actually has answers to just about anything in this game. Even like some of his more difficult matchups, like Game & Watch, his hitboxes, like his down tilt, his aerials and shit like that, like they do got some good hitboxes, and you can, you know, kind of scrap and stuff. He doesn't win the matchup, but he don't get outright shut down because of his grenade play being like obsolete, you know. And the same could be said for other characters that makes him have to play more aggressive, like Ness or Lucas and stuff like that, you know, those who absorb his projectiles and heal and stuff like that. He can still he's very capable of beating these characters. That's not my problem. You could think Snake is top 3, but we gonna put him in S+ with those other 2. Like, in the end, it truly don't matter if he was like right next to Game & Watch or not, but it does look weird that he in the same row as a character who creates stages, cheats the game, got some bullshit all over the fucking screen. Low-key, I don't even know if I could put Sonic there. I'm gonna be honest. Sonic's bullshit as hell too, but I don't know if I could put, like, I feel like Steve is like a cut above the rest in a sense, but you could think Snake is top 3. Do I think Snake is top 3? Absolutely not. I'ma just tell you what I see, and is these bums just watched at Genesis being dick at the matchup. Nah, they're not really. Her is actually just godlike. Like, he actually played phenomenal at Genesis. Steve is obviously really stupid. Character definitely got a lot of crazy shit about them, and like, honestly, sometimes Akula doesn't even go for the crazy shit. He just goes for the stuff that is hard to contest. I'm going to place this block here. I'm going to down air. I'm going to jump off the block. I'm going to side B. I'm going to jump out of it. I'm going to do a back air. And before I land, I'm going to do another anvil because I can. I'm gonna jump. I'm a back air. And I'm gonna do all that shit. He don't have to do no crazy 0 to death or even like 50% to death or anything like that. He just does the safe shit, and it works. It really does work. You throw in some parries in there. Akula's parry game is actually very, very good. One of the best. And that is a fucking godlike character to have a good parry, or like, you know, a good move out of parry, which is up tilt. Steve is broken. I feel like if you have him at number 1, that means you are paying attention to the game. Sonic is really good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna downplay Sonic. Absolutely not. But I do think some people probably think he's even better because they play a lot of Wi-Fi, and on Wi-Fi, bro, is fucking toxic, bro. Oh my god, the amount of homing attacks that just happen on the line, and it feels like you just can't hit them and shit like that, is like a hunk of shit or a load of shit. They're both shitty to face off against, you know what I'm saying? The next tier, I'm gonna be honest, that polar bear in Arlington, Texas right there at the end of the middle of S, don't know what he's doing there. I'm gonna be real with you. Now, he is a very corny character. He ruins 90% of my win streaks / Iron Man's. Like, I would say he's more corny, or like cornier than like Steve, just based off the way Kazuya works. Like, I'm gonna 0 to death you, or I'm gonna be in disadvantage the entire game, or I'm gonna just keep doing these ratchet options just because I'm a big, like, you know, one of the heaviest characters, so I get to live for a long time, so I can go for these random ass options. And if one of these things hits, you're probably gonna die. I know that sounds very bullshit, so you're like, okay, that sounds like he should be number 7. There's a lot of bullshit in this game. When Kazuya gets his stuff, then yeah, Kazuya honestly would be right there next to Steve. But the level of difficulty that it gets at a top level to actually do some of these things, not every matchup. Some matchups you can kind of just run over people with Kazuya and shit like that. But in the grand scheme of things, like, look at the characters above him, or like even around him and shit. Steve, Sonic, Snake, Game & Watch, and shit like that. Diddy Kong right there, Min Min right there. A lot of these characters, they give him a fucking annoying ass time. And I'm only talking about these characters. There's other annoying characters, like I don't know, to say the least. Like Samus, probably really annoying. Sora, all he does is fly in the fucking air or swing aerials, so trying to catch him and shit like that. Kazuya is definitely very good. Don't get me wrong, he probably is still in the top tier, or maybe like where Roy is and stuff, or like A+ or something like that. But I just don't really, especially because this is clearly a tier list based on like a lot of players' opinions. I feel like Kazuya didn't really do too much lately. Like, Riddles has been focusing more on Street Fighter 6, so he hasn't been doing too well in Ultimate. Like, you can tell like his results are definitely more inconsistent as of late. And then there's T, who just got top 8 at Genesis, but that was probably like a not an outlier, but like he doesn't really get top 8 that often, you know. In fact, he kind of had like a little slump as well. So I'm like a little surprised that people are like still thinking high of him, because typically it's usually results based, like, oh, this character is this high up because the results of this character is really good and shit like that, you know. So I'm a little surprised that he's up there. By all means, I'm not saying he's a bad character, but I was just a little surprised to see him up there. If I were to put Kazuya somewhere out of this category in S tier, I'd probably put him after Joker or something. I'll talk about Yoshi being there. I think he's actually lost. I don't know why he's there, but we're gonna talk about that. There's not much to say about Game & Watch. Character actually is fucking dumb as hell. And to me personally, my personal opinion, I actually feel like I have to dumb myself down so much just to play efficient Game & Watch that I actually can't do it. But he is a very, very strong character, as always. One of the best ledge traps in the game, just literally cooking on the ledge. Broken ass aerials, crazy ass advantage state, best smash attack combination in the fucking game. A bucket that absorbs projectiles and now reflects anything that it can't absorb. Why did they give him that? That was one weakness to it, that some characters actually can just, you know, not worry about their projectile getting absorbed, and now they made it so he reflects that shit instead. Why? That's the shit that you don't need to change. But like, you know, just real quick, let me talk about Rob. Rob is another character that is extremely just like, hey, I'm gonna just press all these buttons and they're all really safe, or borderline just unpunishable for some slow characters, or just in general. Like, he has a bunch of shit that you have to watch out for. His gyro auto respawns as soon as it disappears, similar to other projectiles, but the fucking gyro itself is, it literally, there should be an image of a gyro, right? And I can, like, if I can edit this, I'd put gyro like right where Roy is. The gyro is almost S tier on itself, but obviously his Nair is also really good, safe on parry. Can be tricky to parry because of the move's hitboxes. Side B, we don't have to talk about it, is just one of the most beefed up moves from any Smash game till now, or like Smash 4 till now and shit like that. Yeah, Rob's up air, it's a mini game. Nobody consistently DIs it because of the way the move is designed. It is impossible. Fox and Aegis are two characters that I have tons of hours on, like versus. Those two characters are probably the two best characters, or the two characters in the game that no matter how many hours I have against these motherfuckers, I still feel like I am just YOLOing half the time against them. That's not normal. Not even Steve makes me feel that way. Steve is the best character, but I feel very comfortable because I already know the shit he's gonna do. He doesn't have enough jump height to like catch me in moments like that and shit like that. But Fox and Aegis, oh, I'm getting shield pressure. Let me jump. Oh, there they are in front of me already, throwing out an up air or whatever, or forward air or whatever the fuck. Like, oh, he jumped. I'm a shield. I'm getting grabbed. Like, I just feel like I have to pick an option before the scenario even happens. And if I guess correctly, woohoo! If I guess incorrectly, well, here we go. Here comes the blender. Those are the two characters, I swear. Maybe Rob could be in that. Low-key, Rob might be in that contention too, but not Game & Watch, not Snake, not Sonic, not Steve. I'm telling you, like, I have hundreds, thousands of hours probably facing off against Fox. Top player Fox, like literally the Fox, and one of the best Aegis. And even for a time was the best Aegis and stuff back then. And I still feel like I have to just YOLO sometimes. I'm like, these characters are so stupid. And people want to talk about, but Aegis recovery is this, Aegis recovery is that, Fox's recovery is this. Thank God they have a weakness. The fuck? Talking about their weakness, talk about your own character's weakness. You got like 7 more weaknesses. Yeah, of course you're gonna highlight their recovery as their one thing, because that's all they got. That's all they have. Everything else is good. Fox is upbeat. Sometimes that shit just beats everything. Sometimes his side B beats everything. You know, like sometimes there's those weird scenarios, bro. I can't tell you how many times I've seen Palu back here, you know, the move everyone bitches about. How many times I've seen it clank with Fox side B. How is that even possible? If that could do that, that shit already better than half the cast's recoveries. But anyway, enough yapping about S, or just like normal S. S minus. This is where it gets a little weird in the S category to me. I do not think Diddy Kong is better than no fucking Fox. I don't think Diddy Kong is better than Min Min. I mean, it's hard to really argue stuff with Pikachu considering Shiny Mark is the only one doing something and he doesn't have much opportunities to go. But Pikachu is still very fucking good. I know Japan thinks highly of Diddy Kong, which is probably why Diddy Kong is as high as he is here. I don't know what most North American like top players think of Diddy Kong. Obviously Tweek is like one of the forefront of just this game in general, so Diddy Kong is a meta relevant character by proxy. Like, you're practically almost guaranteed to fight Tweek if you make it far in the bracket. So people have probably, a lot of these players who voted on this have probably faced off against Tweek. But I just don't think Diddy Kong is number 8. I would like remove Yoshi and Diddy Kong and put them in like A+ or something. Maybe I would even have like Roy at the bottom of S- or something, because I don't feel like I've heard anybody say Roy is worse than Yoshi. I don't think I've ever heard that. Maybe Japan? Maybe Japanese players think that shit, but I have not ever heard anybody, even when talking with Light and shit like that, have ever heard anyone say Yoshi is better than Roy. Maybe Larry, but Larry's fucking old, bro. Banana is like the main thing. You know what I'm saying? Banana just, that's Diddy Kong. If Diddy Kong had no banana, bro would be like A-, maybe B+ even. You know, that shit is like the bread and butter for everything. He still is better than Sephiroth probably, but anybody can be. I will say though, Diddy Kong definitely has some fucking omega easy ass damage racking combos. Like, I've seen so many times Tweek get one hit with a banana at 0, and then at the end of the sequence, bro is at 70% off stage and he has a new banana in his hand and shit like that. He does have some really good like custom combos and stuff that, you know, he doesn't have to stick to one one combo route. You know, he could get a banana into a dash attack into like back air and then you know do all this shit. He has a lot of like leeway and creativity in order to rack up percent really quickly. However, everything really comes down to killing, and sometimes he does suck at killing. Min Min, another character, my least favorite character in this game. Straight up, I'm gonna be real with you, least favorite. I know the game plan that you have to do against Min Min, and it is genuinely just unfun. Worst character to fight against, bro, I promise you. It is so, like, there is not much characters in Smash history that make NairoMK be like, all right, I can't hold in, or like, I can't hold in most of the time, or I can't like push this advantage and all this stuff. Min Min is one of them characters. Min Min is actually one of them characters where I have to fucking wait for my turn for them to panic and roll in and do all this shit. Definitely one of the best characters in the game. I would say higher than Diddy Kong and even Kazuya, I would say. However, Min Min is not the easiest character to get adjusted to. Like, I'll say it, even though I hate Min Min, she is a very weird character to use. The game plan though, however, once you get that movement down, you're in there, bro. You are a threat to some top players, 100%, I promise you. Or like you will be. It's just like that slog though of you getting used to like the way she moves and like how she spaces her stuff and whatnot. But when you master that, she's one of the characters that, like, when mastered, easily one of the best characters in the game, uncontested. Like, if we're talking true potential of characters, easily one of the best characters. What can I say? Some characters, like, they actually are just guaranteed dead as long as the Min Min doesn't overextend or have horrible timing when they throw you off stage. F smash like that should never 2-frame. There isn't much cornier things in Ultimate than Min Min constantly 2-framing you or ram F smash, I promise you. Like, that shit is like one of the most hopeless feelings in this entire game. I fucking promise you. You're just like, yep, I'm dead. Yep, why am I even trying? Like, why am I even trying? It's over. I'm dead. Especially if you have one of them linear ass recoveries like DK and shit. Oh my god, that shit is so ass. Thankfully, Min Min's disadvantage is not good for sure. Like, some characters' disadvantage, you would think, oh, disadvantage, that's a bad thing. Some characters don't give a fuck if they're in disadvantage. Pikachu. But yeah, her disadvantage and also her offstage like play, or like her trying to come back and stuff, is it could be a little tricky versus some characters, especially faster characters and stuff. So, but yeah, Min Min I think is in a solid spot overall in this tier list. Fox, I'm gonna go a little bit faster after this one. What have I not said about Fox? I know pretty much everything there is to know about this character, and I can safely say this character is bullshit. This character is one of the best characters in the game. Fox should be where Kazuya is, minimum. I think he's better than Snake too, in my opinion. I think he's better than Snake. You know what it is though, is that Fox is not as common as Snake, and also like a lot of Foxes are also not as good, or like any of those Foxes are kind of ass, if I'm being real with you. Like, obviously Light and Kananabe, Serum Man, and like maybe like one or two others, you know, aside, kind of like a drop. Kind of like a notable drop and shit like that, because, you know, obviously you need some good reaction time with Fox to get like his real bullshit. But a lot of times, a lot of mid-level players, they're just gonna guess. No matter what, they're just gonna guess and throw out a up smash and a roll read or something like that. They're not gonna actually react. They're just gonna do it and hope. That's the difference. Sometimes Light does the same thing, and you know when he does the same thing because he's usually getting fucked in that same game where he's just throwing out smash attacks. Character is one of the hardest characters to fight in neutral. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, actually, I wouldn't say maybe hardest characters to fight in neutral, but he's one of the hardest characters to escape disadvantage from, in my opinion. Sometimes the best option is to go to the ledge and then you just pray again. You're still in disadvantage when you're on the ledge, but landing against Fox, one of the hardest things to do in this game. And he don't even got the craziest disjoints or anything like that. He's just that fast. It's kind of like a meme at this point where if Light runs into one of the matchups he bitches about, like Ice Climbers or Luigi, you kind of just expect him to lose. Oh, this motherfucker's calling me. Here we go. He about to start being like, oh man, I was tired.
Get off my dick.
Bro, I'm going in order.
Bro, I just started streaming and I'm already catching strays. Get off
my fault, bro. Bro, I was highlighting some stuff, bro. I'm listing some negatives too. You ain't let me get there yet.
I was tired.
There it is.
Bro, what? Yo, go watch Light versus Guy. Do that with your stream.
Yeah, I'll watch that, bro. I'll watch that. I know you. No, okay. Did you not hear what I last said before you called me? I said you're.
No, you last said before I called you. You said if Light bitches about a match, if he's gonna lose to, I think I'll give him watch all the time. That's not true.
Well, I mean, it took you like like 6 months, bro. Like that's
not true. I've been beating Game & Watch since year 1.
I don't know about that, bro. You know how much shit you gave me because I was like, oh, Life fights Mia the first time. Oh yeah, he gonna beat him.
Bro, if there's anything you should know about fucking Smash, it should be year 1. That should be the only thing you fucking know. How the fuck do you not know?
Bro, okay, year 1. Okay, year 1 Game & Watch is so whatever, bro. Like what are you talking? Like year 1 Game & Watch and year 5 and 6 Game & Watch are 2 different characters.
No, it's not. It's the same exact.
No, it's. Are you kidding me? The Game & Watchers did not realize how good their character was. Oh my god.
No. Stupid, bro.
Bro, I'm not stupid. You know, look. You know I know more about Fox at this point than your home player base.
I thought you were gonna say that me.
No. But bro, more than your player base, bro. Your player base is ass. I'm gonna just be real.
I don't lose to people I bitch about because I bitch about everyone.
True. I've always said, like, since year 1, since, you know, Light want to talk about year 1, I told him that Fox will be better than Palu and will become a better character as his tech chases start getting better. And then we got jab reset shit in year 2. And then we got all this other bullshit year 3 and forward. And I was like, bro is just getting stronger. He is playing the same game, but now he's just realizing, wait a second, I can force scenarios now. Oh, you missed this tech? Jab reset up smash. But I'll move on. I'll make it a little bit faster because we are rambling right now, and I gotta cook with my Iron Man later on. Peach, I think Peach is a solid character. I think Peach, Joker, both definitely are S tier characters. Obviously, from the beginning of the game, well, Joker wasn't there, but you know what I mean. When Joker was in the game, till now, he seems to have fallen off a little bit. Not too much though. Like, it's just that other characters, some of these characters that are ahead of him, they didn't even exist back then, you know? They're just simply better characters. I feel like, to an extent, Peach, what I said about Snake can apply to Peach, where even in like her annoying matchups, she still can like figure things out, you know? It's not like she doesn't really have any hopeless matchups. Her movement, her mix-ups, her turnip, all these things in combination with each other still add to a very strong character, even in some of her difficult matchups. That makes sense. Joker, what can I say? Bro is literally a fucking mosquito that 3 or 4 times in the match gets the power of Ganondorf. I don't feel like I need to explain anything more about Joker. This character will never be bad, will never fall out of top tier, and will probably stay in this area or go a little bit higher by the end of Ultimate, you know, maybe. But yeah, all I'm saying, Mosquito, 4 out of the 4 times in the match, as strong as Ganondorf, sounds like a room for fucking bullshit. And now the one character or another character that I don't know if I agree with them being an S tier, Yoshi. I understand that Japan is pretty big on Yoshi. Yoshidora is one of their best players. They also have Ron the God, Fui, I believe. However, this Yoshi, some of them think Yoshi's like top 5 or some shit. I just don't really agree. However, at the same time, if you ask me like what's Yoshi's matchup chart, I can't really give you an answer. Like I would imagine he does have a pretty good matchup chart. And you know, if this is factoring matchup chart and results and stuff like that and people's opinions, I can see why he's up here. I just don't necessarily agree that he's this high up. Certainly not over Roy. And as much as I don't want to say it, even mid is higher than Yoshi. Honestly, if I were to like take Yoshi spot right here, I'd probably put him where like Corrin is, like after Corrin or somewhere around there. He does have a really good punish game. He does have some good tilts. He does have tech chases. His double jump armor is a bitch. I feel like Yoshi's one of the characters that still isn't super common. If you play Wi-Fi, you might run into Yoshi's, but he's extremely like, you know, that's just generic Wi-Fi Yoshi shit. Like real Yoshi practice is probably hard to come by. So a lot of people probably need to learn more about Yoshi in general. And we'll kind of see that like, oh, he isn't as bad to deal with and stuff, you know. He's going to swing aerials, but you know, sometimes he has to get certain aerials to really get cooking. And if he doesn't even get that first part, then his whole game plan not whole game plan, but a majority of his game plan kind of falls short, or he has to start getting a little greedy with some of his options. Pikachu, S tier. I do think Pikachu is still S tier. That probably should be higher due to, you know, but isn't higher due to lack of representation. Shiny Mark, the new best, or has been the best for a while, so I can't even say new. Best Pikachu in the world. Doesn't really go to much, doesn't have much opportunities to go to stuff, but his results are very, very good. He just got, what was that, like 13th at Genesis. He lost to Tweak and Zomba, very respectable losses and stuff like that. One of the best recoveries, if not best recovery in the game. Can play the fucking clock. A lot of characters, there's a lot of campy characters, but sometimes the way Pikachu plays the clock is just so bullshit, bro. Bro can stay under the stage half the time. He can stall really well. Thunder Jolt, you know it's coming, but it's still pretty good. You have to respect it and all of this stuff. A low profile is a bunch of shit. His matchup spread is probably hella fucking good still. Does good against a lot of the new cheese in this game, or like, well, not really new, but like, you know, the Fighters Pass 2. But yeah, that rounds up S tier. I know I was yapping a lot there, so I'm gonna speed this up. It gets easier as I go down though, because there's some really bad characters. I don't really have much to comment on that. So start off the bat with A+, Roy, S tier. Like, I would have put Roy in this list. If I wouldn't change anything, I would still, like, positions and stuff, Roy could still be behind Pikachu, but I'd put Roy in S-. He'd be like that last S- character, in my opinion. That's another character that gets a lot off of tech chases. It's a character that can constantly swing hurt boxes or hit boxes around them and stuff. His sour spots can true combo into sweet spots. His sweet spots can combo into some sweet spots. His sweet spot is strong as fuck. His recovery is a little wonky sometimes, but you gotta kind of get used to it. You can like angle it and stuff. That's what some people don't even know that. They think it's just the same out B, but like, no, if you hold in, or, you know, there's different ways of recovering with him. But overall, yeah, his recovery is probably like the downside. Obviously sour spots as well. If you keep getting constant sour spots, he can be a little inconsistent in some matchups. However, his buttons are still very good. His moveset is very good. A tech chase down tilt, a very strong sweet spot forward tilt, side B, killing people on the ledge at 70 or 80% with low to no rage. His frame data is very, very strong. You know, he can wave bounce to mix up his recovery here and there, like when he's landing on stage from above, shit like that. He's a good character. I would say he's definitely an S tier. I don't think Olimar is top tier. I still don't think Cloud is top tier, and I don't think Luigi is top tier either. Some people will still say that this is top tier, though. I don't know, maybe. Do people think A tier is high tier or top tier? Maybe it depends on where they're at, but I think Olimar is in a fine spot. Maybe he could like get lowered a little bit, just like a smidge, couple spots. But relatively, I do think Olimar is still a strong character. Character's damage output is fucking crazy. You definitely have to have good control with Pikmin and stuff, because there are definitely a lot of moments where even like it happens to some players too, like Shuton and stuff, where they go for like an attack or a smash attack and the Pikmin is like kind of stuck somewhere, doesn't teleport to the attack, and then like creates a wonky scenario. He gets fucked up for it and all this shit. Olimar is a really weird character in some of those like small aspects and stuff. He is a light character, one of the lightest characters, same way as Sephiroth for some reason. He's not like meta in the sense of like a lot of people use them, but I think overall against some of the meta characters, I think he does a decent job, you know. Now Cloud, mid. I mean, what can I say? He should be where Young Link is at. Why is Young Link in mid tier? We don't know. But no, I think Cloud is in a fine spot. I think potentially, at least in the A category, or like the whole A category, I can see Palutena being higher than him. I can see, well, Roy is already higher than him here. I could say Roy's better. I could say maybe Mario. I just realized where Wolf is at. I feel like I want to get to that, you know. Maybe I shouldn't really talk about characters like one by one. Maybe I should talk about the weird ones that speak out to me. I'll talk about that one. Obviously, Cloud is one of the meta characters. There isn't much top players that use Cloud, but Spargo is one of the best players. Well, he's the current best player in the world. Everyone knows what his strengths are. Oh, he gets smash back air. His forward air is pretty good. His side B does a lot of damage. It's a good anti-air move. He has an up B out of shield. All this stuff, and all of that I can agree with. However, It comes down to the same thing I've been preaching for a while. I think a lot of people overthink some of Cloud's recovery moves. Sometimes he really is in a really bad spot and he can't do anything unless you, the opponent fighting against Cloud, messes up. And Spargo knows that. He's not gonna just give it to you though. Like, he's not gonna like make it look obvious that like, oh man, I hope you mess up this recovery, or like, you know, like, I hope you don't realize that I'm kind of fucked in this scenario. The player has to know themselves, and a lot of times, even now that I watch, that is not true. I would say Cloud is better than Yoshi. Like, you know, yeah, maybe I'm underrating Yoshi a little bit, but I don't know. Even like, if I'm saying Cloud better than somebody, that's to mean something. I guess the only other characters that I have a problem with in Plus and like normal A is Luigi. I'm still not entirely okay. Luigi is definitely, I definitely was wrong about Luigi, but I don't think he's like super good still. This could be based on my character picks as well. I think Palutena does fine against Luigi, and and Sephiroth does fine against Luigi. So maybe I have some bias in the sense of like, I don't see it, but even when I play like other characters and shit like that, I'm just like, you know, oh, Luigi's off stage, he's dead, you know, kind of thing. You know, some characters can really go off stage, and like some characters can go really low and still make it back and stuff. And if you're one of those characters, or you're playing one of those characters, Luigi should just almost never come back. The only exception is obviously a misfire, but even then there's some characters who don't give a fuck about the misfire as well, and it doesn't factor that. So I don't know, I think Luigi is like solid. I guess I won't, based on like the current meta and like results and stuff, I won't argue too much about Luigi being up here, but I can see him going a little bit lower when people get a little bit better against him. He does have some bullshit though. Like Luigi was going fucking crazy at Genesis, or like some of the combos and shit, or he just freed up everybody. Palutena could probably be a little higher up, maybe like where Cloud is, or like where like Luigi is, or something like that. She's still good. Like, she does fine against Steve. Sonic is horrendous. She does fine against Snake. Game & Watch, she does fine, potentially even still wins. Some people say it's even, or like current Palus and stuff say it's even. I can see why, you know, like the meta is different from when I was playing against Game & Watches and stuff. Rob, even, or like somewhere around there. Aegis, Putrid. Kazuya, she does fine. Diddy Kong, I think she does fine against Diddy Kong. Maybe not win, but like even, maybe slight loss. Not a hard loss though. Min, so on and so forth. You know, like a lot of the characters above her, she actually does fine against. The problem is she doesn't have the pizzazz. She doesn't have the one thing in her moveset that like, oh, I hit you with this, time to never fucking do anything for the rest of the stock again. That's her problem. Her best moves in her game plan are her kill moves too, in a sense. Because her smash attacks are like, you know, hard reads. You can't just like, you can't be like Wolf and just throw out a down smash here and there, or like an up smash and then be okay and shit like that. All her smash attacks have good amount of lag. They do have good power, but they have come with a good amount of lag for it to be reliable. Nair is not threatening anymore. When people, back then, early Ultimate, people weren't mashing as much. So when Palu was nairing, they were scared a lot. And they would stay in shield. They would not punish it when it actually was punishable on shield, so on and so forth. But at this point, a lot of moves now just straight up just beat Palu Nair. Light thinks, I'm pretty sure Light has finally agreed that Fox beats Palu, but only by a little bit, which is fine. I never said that it's a +2 or anything like that for Fox. I just said that Fox wins. Yeah, maybe early on it was easier for Palu, but at this point in time, that 0 to 40 don't mean shit. At this time, taking 40%, you're happy. You're like, all right, that's cool, because guess what? You get grabbed by Kazuya at 0. What happens sometimes? You die. You get hit by a Steve up tilt sometimes, or a jab, you die. You get hit by a Rob Nair when he's holding a gyro, you die. You know, like there's some shit that people have in this game that you just gotta sit there and take it. And I know it sounds like I'm downplaying Palutena, but you know, I'm just listening to some of the things that people were continually complaining about. I remember I had Mewtwo King trying to ask for nerfs and shit like that back then. And I was like, what the fuck do you want to nerf from, you bot? You fucking play Bowser. Like, Palutena, the least of your worries, I'm telling you right now. You just got way more to worry about that, chief. Palutena has fallen off because one, her grab range has been reduced. It's still a good grab range, but it's normal in the sense. Her kill potential has also, you know, kind of always been like a little like her average kill percent is like 130, 140, maybe even a little bit more depending on like character matchup or where you're hitting the moves in. And that's not okay against some of these characters that if you give them one hit, they kill you. Even back then, I said Palutena is one of the worst characters in disadvantage. And okay, let me clarify. Worst character on the ledge out of the top tiers. All her options, her airspeed isn't like that great. So when she jumps off the ledge or like drops off and does like a rising aerial, there is like a certain spot that you could be on the stage that if she does forward air, it misses. If she does nair, it misses. If she does down air, it obviously is gonna miss. If she does up air, she's obviously gonna miss. So if you sit in that spot you can whiff punish her almost all the time. I taught Light that, and I swear ever since that day I struggle against them on the ledge. I can still, if she makes it to S-, I wouldn't even like bitch about it. I've said for the longest she's like a top tier gatekeeper, you know, like she stops a lot of bad characters from truly getting to the next level or like to that realm. But at the same time she struggles against those characters that are in that realm. The one thing I disagree about the most out of this entire A section, Wolf underneath Falco. How did it get to this point? Genuinely, how did it get to this point? Wolf is absolutely not worse than Falco. Falco is not that good, bro. Like, yeah, you can say Wolf has fallen off and stuff like that, but he is still better than Falco. Bro, see one combo on Battlefield and are convinced. I'm telling you, Terry is definitely better than Falco. Pac-Man? Like, bro, Pac-Man is about to be mid-tier? No, the fuck he's not. Pac-Man is broken. Pac-God, my guys. Like, Wolf don't got the long, like, auto combos that Falco has, but he sure as hell has safer buttons to press when you're at kill percent. He doesn't have to be throwing certain things out or like one specific move. He got a whole arsenal of moves that he wants to throw out. He got good ass 2 frames as well. That's another thing. I feel like a lot of people forget how fucking annoying it is to get hit by any Wolf 2 frame. 2 frame side B spike, 2 frame forward tilt, 2 frame down smash and shit like that. Like, so, bro, that shit is annoying. I just don't think Wolf is here. If I had to put Wolf in a spot, he absolutely is going to be where Cloud or Luigi's at least. Maybe where Olimar's at even. Like, he's a top tier gatekeeper, like Palutena in my opinion. Pokemon Trainer is also a little underrated right now too. I don't know, man, but I mean, this is like probably one of the hardest spots to like really like categorize. Everything after this, oh my god, that's where he's at. Oh my god. Overall though, some of these characters, Hero's a little bit higher than I would expect to, but he is definitely more relevant in Japan, and like, you know, Akai does really good, or Aka, so I'm not surprised. I'm sure this is like mainly a Japan like reason as to why he's high up here. Beast Mode Paul doing really well with Hero over here too, so maybe a little mixture of both of them cooking lately. But yeah, I would say overall this isn't bad. Honestly, this tier list, outside of like, so far from what I've seen, outside of like a couple things like Falco or like Yoshi in their spots, or like even like maybe a little bit of Luigi in my opinion, or like Lucina. I think Lucina should definitely go where like Wario is, or Sora, like a little, like maybe under Sora or some shit like that. But overall, I think it's still a solid group of characters. Like, it's on track of like, yeah, at this point, I'd be surprised if any of these characters in B or C or D actually come into A, like a solid A. B tier is not as much. Young Link, underrated. I mean, I just finished doing that whole thing. Granted, that was not the best matches. I got fucked up by this Pichu, but what's it called? I do think Young Link is an underrated character. Granted, if I had to say like where he would probably peak, it'd probably be like where Hero is. He's still not like a top tier, like sleeper top tier, but I definitely think he's better than what many people think. Honestly, I'm a little surprised he's even at the top of B plus, because it feels like nobody thinks he's good. Where the fuck is Link? Oh, he's at C minus. I swear, I feel like people say even regular Link is better than Young Link at this point. And I'm just like, all right, we must have forgot. That was the first Choose to Lose, man. That was the first character that was like, damn, this character got no lag. I remember when the game first came out, I always say this. One of the combos people came up with Young Link at the first day of the game was up B to up B. And I was like, that don't even sound right, until I actually saw it, and I was like, wow, he can up B. That's so weird. like grounded up B into up, and like aerial up B. I was like, I can't even picture that. Pit, I mean, that's that Zachary influence. But though, we always say Pit is the most normal, like honest character, as close to honest as possible. He's right in the center of the fucking tier list, or practically in the center of the tier list. Honestly, I can't really complain about his spot. Falcon, low-key, I can't even complain about it. I say Falcon is mid. This is mid tier. This is where he pretty much belongs. I would say Ken could probably be boosted up a little bit more. I'm surprised he's that much lower than Ryu, actually. I feel like, is this like a big gap? According to the last tier list, he went up 3 spots from the last one, but so did Ryu. So they shifted together and stuff. But I'm surprised that the gap between Ryu and Ken was that much to begin with. I do think Ryu's better, don't get me wrong, but I don't know about like almost 2 tiers better, because he's at the end of A- and Ken is at the end of B+. I mean, I guess it is that Asimo factor as well. I think that's a fair spot to put Rosa. Honestly, this B+ list, I don't really have too much complaints about. Maybe Ken could be a little bit higher, but it's like so minimum that overall, I think that's a fair thing. And now the row we've been waiting for. Ness, I can see Ness being B+. Like, Ness is not, I mean, this is like, it's like a minimum difference, but Ness could be B+. I think Ness could be in front of Rosa or some shit like that. Or like, he could be even in front of Ken in this list, and I don't think I would like bat an eye or anything like that. Ness is alright. He's just alright, you know? Like, he's leaning more towards good than leaning towards bad. So, you know, overall, that's a fine spot. Sheik, B-. I mean, as somebody who's played Void in his prime, and then even afterwards, just playing him in friendlies with no nerves, where he's just gonna go for shit that he's been labbing and stuff like that, this character is still a fucking pain in the ass. Sheik fell 14 spots from the last tier list. I can see why. I don't agree. I can see why though, because no Void and like, well, Web JP, Web is hella good. You know, he just doesn't go to as much events. Like, you don't hear about him much. Like, obviously when tri-state events happen, he'll be there and stuff, and periodically be at like other events and stuff like that. But at least from the last tier list to now, or at least the last year and stuff, I haven't heard too much about him and stuff like that. He definitely is still hella good. Kamame also, you know, doesn't really go to much stuff currently, and then Void just straight up doesn't go to anything and whatnot. So I can see why the Sheik meta. Also, Mr. R doesn't really play like that anymore either. So I can see why Sheik has fallen this far down. Truthfully though, Sheik is definitely in like the middle of A or A+ at peak. Meta Knight, NairoMK. I don't think people think Meta Knight's underrated. I would hope not, because he's a very one-dimensional ass character, and like unfortunately that one-dimensional play isn't like Steve's one-dimensional, where it's absolutely broken, obvious but broken. He can play slow and like lame and stuff like that, but he does not have the greatest hitboxes. And it feels like sometimes you have to just kind of throw shit out. And if you don't throw out shit, you're just gonna be fishing for dash attacks. Mega Man, definitely think Mega Man is better than this. I'm a little surprised. Did Mega Man fall? No, he actually went up 1. All right then. Apparently, Mega Man is almost low tier. That's it. When you're down a stock against characters, obviously it's annoying sometimes to bring it back, but there is not much more annoying characters than being down against Mega Man. I promise you that. Even his hardest matchups is still a fucking mess, or annoying as fuck to come back against, because of how he functions as a character. All them pellets, all them leaf shields, all that shit is annoying as fuck, bro. Mega Man, I don't think this is where Mega Man belongs. He's definitely a high tier. Like, even if it's like low high, like where Toon Link is at, I'm okay with that. But I think Mega Man definitely is getting a little slighted here. Inkling, kind of in the right spot. Maybe could go up a little bit in the mid-tier category, like maybe to where like Ken is at and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like Inkling's kind of seen the best of her days and stuff like that with early Ultimate. She still has some stuff, I won't lie. She, you know, Inkling doesn't feel like a bad character when using the character, but I don't main the character, and I don't fight through like the actual hardest matchups and stuff like that to truly know. Yeah, overall, like solid, but not like, you know, better than the greats that are above. And now, holy man. this dead ass might be in the exact mid. Actually, this might be lower than mid at this point. Holy, I can't say that I'm surprised. This character is fucking ass. I know I say a lot like he's mid and shit, but if he was actually a really good character, I would not be that whole mid stuff. I would say it like half the time, but over time I've only said it more because it's actually a reality. This whole like Sephiroth like downplaying and shit like that, like please somebody prove me wrong. Even if a Sephiroth does good one time or once in a blue moon, that doesn't mean shit. That really doesn't mean shit. He is not as consistent as you could grab any character here and their best like top 3 reps will still be best or better than the best Sephiroths or like solo Sephiroths like reps on any given day or just about any given day. The best thing about Sephiroth, you don't even get to experience it sometimes in some matchups. You just die when he gets his wings sometimes. And it's not like, you know, oh, you can gimp Joker and Joker can play without Arsene. Joker without Arsene is still a good character. He can still move. He can still stall. His down B builds up the fucking thing anyway. Attacking him builds it up anyway too. It's very different. If you remove every character's comeback mechanic and stuff, Joker is still fine. He will still be fine. He won't be where he's at right now, but he would still be a character to like that you have to actually worry about and like be like, oh my god, he's so annoying to hit. Solo Sephiroth, yeah, doesn't really exist. His frame data is really bad. His ledge trapping isn't that great. Like, we know what he's gonna do. He's gonna back air or he's gonna forward tilt. You have to space it in a certain time or timing. But guess what? The move is sluggish. So sometimes you have to just bank. Instead of reacting to it, you have to bank on timing your forward tilt. And then sometimes there's wonky scenarios where somebody does a normal get up and you get a sour spot. Even though visually you get a sweet spot because of how the character is doing a normal get up. That shit's fucking annoying. Sephiroth, this actually hurts to see him in this fucking pool of characters. Like, but Ice Climbers, Donkey Kong, yo, DK actually is kind of high up, or higher up than I expected. So I love to see that. But, like, man, this shit kind of pisses me off to see, but it is reality. It is reality. I'm gonna just be real with you. He doesn't beat any meta characters. Steve, him beating Steve is kind of cap, or I kind of believed it for a moment until I realized that Steves are just playing Steve. And what I mean by that is they're gonna mash minecart, they're gonna mash all these moves and all that, ignoring that I have a counter that can fucking kill them. And that's because their character is so broken that in 99% of matchups, they're able to do that. Over time, all I'm seeing is I was wrong about that, or like I believed other people who thought that Steve lost to Sephiroth. And also at the same time, when I would fight Steves with Sephiroth like online and stuff, I don't still feel like it's a bad matchup, but you know, like he doesn't really beat Steve, and more importantly, he doesn't even make it to the Steves. Like that's the real problem. Making it to the Steves is the challenge. He does not beat Sonic. He does okay against Snake, but Snake crouching just kind of invalidates him a little too much sometimes. The real reason why Sephiroth is not good is because he doesn't have a real good out of shield game. Rising Nair, if it comboed into something, it would be good, but or like that would make his out of shield game hella good and also something that you have to respect. Only thing he really has is out of shield Nair, up B away that leads to nothing if you somehow hit them anyway, and down air out of footstool down air, which unfortunately down air does not really kill if you DI it. Loses to Diddy Kong, Min, Fox. Peach is probably okay, but I would say Peach wins just because of her mix-ups way crazier on my shield than what I can do against Peach. Joker loses, or like Joker, like Sephiroth loses to Joker, loses to Pikachu. Actually does okay versus Yoshi in my opinion. He can lose to characters, that's fine, but he needs characters that he actually beats confidently. But the reason he doesn't beat characters is simply because his frame data is not good. I jokingly compared him to, I always said he was better Marth. But unfortunately, I feel like that is actually a reality. If he had no comeback mechanic at all, I feel like people would compare him to Marth a lot more. But because of that comeback mechanic, him getting more speed and shit like that, that changes things up. He actually, you kind of play him like you do Marth. You want to get certain parts of your moves every single time. And if you don't get it, you're going to have to do a lot more work in the matchup or in the stock to close out the stock, obviously. And it's not as generous. It's not like this is the sweet spot and then this is the move. This is the sweet spot and this is the move. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it could be annoying. You know, I'm gonna just say it. I'm just say it, man. I'm just say it. I don't think like whenever I watch other Sephiroths play though, I don't think they're good. If I'm being real, I can see Sephiroth being higher, but they need to be as good as my Sephiroth. I'm gonna just be as real. I don't give a fuck. I am the best Sephiroth. I do not give a singular fuck. And these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing in some matchups. They know what they're doing in the most easy matchups for Sephiroth, but when it comes down to the fucking actual matchups and shit, these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're gonna stick to ledge trapping and all this shit, but I've had enough. I'm gonna say it, and the only reason I'm gonna say it is because I know. I mean, Lights told me a lot as well, but you know, but you hearing this shit, you freak. No, Tweak Sephiroth is good as well, but there's a clear level of discipline that he has to it, and it's a little too similar to Diddy Kong, or like Tweak himself is a defensive player. He easily is, like, you know, current best Sephiroth, but like just the way he plays Sephiroth right now, in some matchups it could probably be okay, but in other matchups you have to like shift gears into an aggressive state. Like he fought against Popo, the Rosalina, who was really good, by the way. And like, I don't know, just some of the space, how much room he gave Rosalina, especially sometimes when he didn't even have Luma. That's what enabled him to lose that match. Sephiroth's not a hard character in general. He has a fairly simple moveset, but it's just not a strong moveset at the end of the day. Now, I'm not the greatest Sephiroth in every matchup. You know, I can confidently say that, like I do stuff with Sephiroth that other Sephiroths still don't do to this day. And guess what that's comparable to? Palutena. Back then. And maybe even now, I don't know. But for a long time, my Palutena was very different from all the other Palutenas, and it showed because I'm still the only one who has won the biggest things with that character. Low-key, I'm a little surprised Byleth is here too. What happened to Byleth? I guess Leo stopped using Byleth as much, so Byleth stonks kind of went down. I've always said Byleth and Sephiroth are really close to each other. They're both spacing the same things. Granted, Byleth's sweet spots and stuff are fucking bullshit. The fake Byleth's sweet spots are the fakest sweet spots in all of Smash, I promise you. Shit is crazy. But yeah, it's funny that like they're kind of always seen as like together, and they both dropped pretty considerably, and now they're like right next to each other. Like, I'd say Byleth is still better than Sephiroth though. Byleth definitely has actual setups into kills and like good confirms, and still a broken ass Nair and shit like that, you know? Like, Byleth is definitely better. Ice Climbers, I feel like at this point, the rest of this tier list, I'm gonna kind of just chalk it up. Ice Climbers, yeah, I guess you're there. You're not really good still. I'm gonna just be real. You're low-key Ice Climbers is probably where Lucario should be, or like where Lucario is. Pichu is a crazy character, but nobody's gonna really push that meta. I don't know who that Pichu was that I fought though at that and on Elite Smash that one day. They probably gonna push the meta next if I'm being real. They were schmoovin', bro. I'm gonna be real. Like the best days of Pichu is definitely early Ultimate, all the crazy shit that they had in pre-patch era. But I still think Pichu is still solid. I just don't think that people have good mastery of Pikachu and Pichu, you know? So people are like, yeah, I guess Pikachu's alright still, you know? Like, Pikachu's falling off. You know why Pikachu's falling off? Because the character is actually pretty difficult to do some of the hardest stuff. However, when you master that difficulty shit, you become a threat. The character excels. It has, in a lot of moments, has answers to a lot of things. And then my fucking boy Donkey! I'm actually surprised to see Donkey Kong in mid-tier. Low-key, I did say before, I was like, DK sucks, but like, you know, after all the Monkey Mondays and just playing, like using him and stuff, I don't know, I feel like he's better, you know? He has a pretty straightforward game plan, he does good damage and stuff. His disadvantage, unfortunately, is the thing that really holds him back. His recovery sucks, like he gets spiked at like 30, he's not coming back. I do think DK has potential to be a little bit better if he's more optimized. Unfortunately, he falls under the the category as Link, which is, he's not next to Link, but Link has to do a lot just to kind of keep up. DK kind of has to do a lot of these specific niche ass tricks and stuff just to keep up, and that's what, you know. Or you can just play Steve and hold A, or you can play Corrin and just mash falling aerial, falling up air and air and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's his problem. He can't really do that. If he starts mashing and then gets whip punished one time, now he has to overly respect the other person. If he had better disadvantage, he'd be a high tier easily. Honestly, the only thing I see right now, Chrom, I think is bottom of mid tier at least, like kind of where Pichu is. I can't picture Chrom low tier. Like, I can't. I know I say he was underrated and I got spiked by a Kirby 90 times like last week, but I can't picture Chrom being low tier. I just can't. But he actually has zero representation. So, yeah, I'm not gonna argue it because he really doesn't exist in the meta, so he's put in a fair position. Banjo went up from like near bottom tier, or like, well, I would say D tier is bottom tier. If D and E are bottom, E is such a small list, so I put them at bottom. Banjo, I said Lucario was underrated, but like he wouldn't, honestly, I wouldn't really put him that much higher. You know, I think it's a respectable spot to put him in currently. I think a lot of people think Wii Fit is underrated. I honestly think Wii Fit is exactly where she needs to be. I don't think that character is good. Yeah, Deep Breathing Cheese exists and all this shit, but characters' hitboxes are too fucking weird and wonky in a game where mashing is like just actually a strat for a lot of characters. Wii Fit missed that assignment. She doesn't do that, or like she can, but it's not as effective as a lot of other characters. My hot take in this is like Ridley and Robin don't belong in this list. I think they're actually not bad. I don't think there's any like god tier Robin player and stuff. Like, there's some good Robins, but like worldwide, like going and shit and stuff like that, there really isn't anything like that. I actually don't think Robin is this bad. Like, the more I play Robin, even when I'm playing against actual players and shit like that, I actually don't feel like I'm playing that limiting of a character. It's only when I play so robotic with like my spells and shit like that I feel like I'm playing a bad character, but I don't feel like I don't have to press some of these arc fires on the ledge all the time and shit, you know? I feel like every Robin plays so like set play heavy that you just know what the fuck they're doing. It's kind of like a slightly different Zelda. Oh, you're fighting a Zelda, oh, you know they're gonna hit you with this one move, and then here comes the fucking White Knight, and here comes all that shit, and yeah, you know, it's like the same thing. But I don't think Robin is that bad. And also, them aerials are not okay. Like, they're really fucking good. Oh, Bowser Jr. is here. Where's that at? I'm gonna put some respect on Bowser Jr. for the first time ever. Low of mids. Take it or leave it. I'm gonna be real. I'm partially saying it because of your annoying ass. But Bowser Jr.'s for some reason have been cooking offline as well. So I'm gonna give him some leeway and maybe be like, maybe I was wrong about the character, but character's still annoying as fuck. Worst sound effects ever. Side B should put you in free fall. I hope they do. So I need Bowser Jr. to drive with the side B and then immediately go into free fall. Like, just yeah. Damn, Mewtwo is kind of low, man. Like, I forgot Mewtwo exists, honestly, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Mewtwo kind of got some stuff. Marth, I'm a little sad about, but honestly, I can't really say much about Marth because better Marth. He's only barely above him. So if Marth is higher than Sephiroth, he'd be better Sephiroth. Wait, how much did Marth? Oh my god, Marth dropped 16 spots. Is that the most? D tier. I mean, this is the bottom. This is literally the bottom of the crop. K. Rool should probably be at low tier or like C-. Ike and Zelda should also be in C-. I joked about it before, but as time goes on, okay, it's probably not true, but I'm gonna still say it. Simon and Richter might dead ass be the worst characters. Maybe that's my online brain is too rotted now, but I actually don't know. I actually might think Ganondorf is better, bro. I'm gonna be real with you. Belmonts are so ass, man. The only reason I don't think Belmonts are actually worse than Ganon is because they actually do decent against Luigi. Fucking Luigi, bro. Like, that is their only thing, bro. If it wasn't that, I'm telling you, bro. Japan said that Simon and Richter are the worst. Damn, bro. I might have to be smoking that Japan shit, that Japan pack, man. They are in the bottom 5 category. You know, I'll take a bottom 5, but I'm telling you, I'm not entirely convinced. I don't know, man. Something in my heart tells me that Ganondorf may not actually be the worst character anymore. And it is not to Little Mac. Little Mac is not the worst character. Low key, I don't even think Little Mac is right next to Ganondorf. What is he doing there? He should be like where me Sword Fighter is, or like Piranha Plant or something. Yeah, you know why Ganondorf is the worst? Cause y'all don't got the Nairo Ganon, y'all don't got the shiny mark Ganon cooking. Nah, there's some Ganon gods out there. I remember when Sora was considered D tier. I mean, the way that Sora players, most of them played, he should still be at D tier. I mean, real with you. Real recognizes real, and we recognize that his kit is real bullshit. So that's why he's so high up still. That pretty much concludes this tier list. I honestly agree with a lot of like characters placements, not all of them, but I think this is like kind of the right idea. Yeah, there's some like questionable stuff. I don't know if Yoshi's S tier in my eyes. I could see him at A, like replace Yoshi with Roy. Kazuya, probably like bump him down to like A+ or A, you know, somewhere around there. I think maybe like here. I didn't mean to put him right next to Luigi, but you know, probably around there. Bayonetta is also, I didn't really talk about Bayonetta, but she's kind of, you know, risen above the ranks as time goes on. I don't think Bayonetta is like that strong of a character. She does have some really good shit though, but overall, I don't know. Like, because of the lack of her kill power, whenever she's like doing her fucking long combos and stuff, to me, it feels like I'm only taking 30% sometimes. She was never always this good. I hate when people say that. They said that shit with Cloud. They said that shit with Bayo, disregarding the fact that these characters got nerfed, especially Bayonetta. Bro, Bayonetta was so ass at the beginning of Ultimate. I think people genuinely forgot how bad she actually was. She got so many buffs throughout times, and now she's in the spot that she's in due to a lot of those changes. That will conclude the tier list. I think this is a fair, fine tier list. Outside of some changes, I kind of like mixed some characters around. Overall, I feel like a lot of the top players and myself kind of have a similar idea for most characters. You know, I'm not quite sold on like Falco or Luigi, these two, or like Yoshi and stuff like that. But generally speaking, as a whole, the game Smash Ultimate and where it's at, I feel like this is a pretty decent tier list, honestly. Especially when they got what was it, like 100 players made a tier list and they made an average of it or something like that. I feel like overall it wasn't as fucking wild and nutty as I expected it to be. So that's some good shit. And with that, let me know in the chat or in the comments down below in the video. Let me know what you guys think. What character do you think is overrated? What character do you think is underrated? What character opinion do you disagree with me? What do you agree with me? Anything, you know? I sometimes join in on the comments for some videos and stuff. I'll try to chime in on that video, you know? It's good discussion and stuff. Maybe I'll talk about it too after the video's published and talk about like, hey, in the comments said this and that, this and that. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all next time.